Hi, welcome here. It's Jessica Mahoney. This is an ASMR reading, The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Part 1. So we are on Chapter 3. The end of Chapter 3, and yeah, let's just pick up where we left off. "I think you should still follow that plan," said Gildo. "I do not think the road will prove too hard for your courage, but if you desire clearer counsel, you should ask Gandalf. I do not know the reason for your flight, and therefore I do not know by what means your pursuers will assail you. These things Gandalf must know. I suppose that you will see him before you leave the Shire. I hope so, but that is another thing that makes me anxious. I have been expecting Gandalf for many days. He was to have come to Hobbiton at the latest 2 nights ago, but he has never appeared. I am now wondering what can have happened. Should I wait for him?" Gildo was silent for a moment. "I do not like this news," he said at last. "That Gandalf should be late does not bode well. But it is said, do not meddle with the affairs of wizards, for they are subtle and quick to anger. The choice is yours, to go or wait. And it is also said," answered Frodo, "go not to the elves for counsel, for they will say both no and yes." "Is it indeed?" laughed Gildo. "Elves seldom give unguarded advice, for advice is a dangerous gift, even from the wise to the wise, and all courses may run ill. But what would you? You have not told me all concerning yourself, and how then shall I choose better than you? But if you demand advice, I will for friendship's sake give it. I think you should now go at once, without delay, and if Gandalf does not come before you set out, then I also advise this. Do not go alone. Take such friends as are trusty and willing. Now, you should be grateful, for I do not give this counsel gladly. The elves have their own labours and their own sorrows, and they are little concerned with the ways of hobbits or of any other creatures upon earth. Our paths cross there seldom, by chance or purpose. In this meeting there may be more than chance, but the purpose is not clear to me, and I fear to say too much." "I am deeply grateful," said Frodo, "but I wish you would tell me plainly what the Black Riders are. If I take your advice, I may not see Gandalf for a long while, and I ought to know what is the danger that pursues me." "Is it not enough to know that they are servants of the enemy?" answered Gildo. "Flee them, speak no words to them, they are deadly. Ask no more of me. But my heart forebodes that, ere all is ended, you, Frodo, son of Drogo, will know more of these fell things than Gildo Inglorian. May Elbereth protect you." "But where shall I find courage?" asked Frodo. "That is what I chiefly need." "Courage is found in unlikely places," said Gildo. "Be of good hope. Sleep now. In the morning we shall have gone, but we will send our messages through the lands. The wandering companies shall know of your journey, and those that have power for good shall be on the watch. I name you elf friend. And may the stars shine upon the end of your road. Seldom have we had such delight in strangers, and it is far too near words of the ancient speech from the lips of other wanderers in the world. Frodo felt sleep coming upon him, even as Gildo finished speaking. I will sleep now, he said, and the elf led him to a bower beside Pippin, and he threw himself upon a bed and fell at once into a dreamless slumber. Okay, so that was the end of chapter 3. We are now continuing on to chapter 4. Shortcut to mushrooms. In the morning, Frodo woke refreshed. He was lying in a bower made by living tree with branches laced and drooping to the ground. His bed was of fern and grass, deep and soft and strangely fragrant. The sun was shining through the fluttering leaves, which were still green upon the tree. He jumped up and went out. Sam was sitting on the grass near the edge of the wood. Pippin was standing, studying the sky and weather. There was no sign of the elves. They have left us fruit and drink and bread, said Pippin. Come and have your breakfast. The bread tastes almost as good as it did last night. I did not want to leave you any, but Sam insisted. Frodo sat down beside Sam and began to eat. What is the plan for today? Asked Pippin. To walk to Buckleberry as quickly as possible, answered Frodo, and gave his attention to the food. Do you think we shall see any of those riders? Asked. Under the morning sun, the prospect of seeing a whole troop of them did not seem very alarming to him. Yes, probably, said Frodo, not liking the reminder, but I hope to get across the river without their seeing us. Did you find out anything about them from Gildo? Not much, only hints and riddles, said Frodo evasively. Did you ask about the sniffing? We didn't discuss it, said Frodo with his mouth full. You should have. I'm sure it was very important. In that case, I'm sure Gildo would have refused to explain it, said Frodo sharply. And now, leave me in peace for a bit. I don't want to answer a string of questions while I'm eating. I wanted to think. Good heavens, said Pippin, at breakfast. He walked away towards the edge of the green. From Frodo's mind, the bright morning, treacherously bright, he thought, had not banished the fear of pursuit, and he pondered the words of Gildo. The merry voice of Pippin came to him. He was running on the green turf and singing. No, I could not, he said to himself. It is one thing to take my young friends walking over the Shire with me until we are hungry and weary, and food and bed are sweet. To take them into exile, where hunger and weariness may have no cure, is quite another, even if they are willing to come. The inheritance is mine alone. I don't think I ought even to take Sam. He looked at Sam Gamgee and discovered that Sam was watching him. Well, Sam, he said, what about it? I'm leaving the Shire as soon as I can. In fact, I have made up my mind now, not even to wait a day at Crick Hollow, if it can be helped. Very good, sir. You still mean to come with me? I do. It is going to be very dangerous, Sam. It is already dangerous. Most likely, neither of us will come back. If you don't come back, sir, then I shan't, that's certain, said Sam. Don't you leave him, they said to me. Leave him. I said, I never mean to. I am going with him. If he climbs to the moon, and if any of those black riders try to stop him, They'll have Sam Ganji to reckon with, I said. They laughed. Who are they, and what are you talking about? The elves, sir. We had some talk last night, and they seemed to know you were going away, so I didn't see the use of denying it. Wonderful folk, elves, sir. Wonderful. They are, said Frodo. Do you like them still, now you've had a closer view? They seem a little above my likes and dislikes, so to speak, answered Sam slowly. I don't seem to matter what I think about them. They're quite different from what I expected. So old and young and so gay and sad, as it were. Frodo looked at Sam and rather startled, half expecting to see some outward sign of the odd change that seemed to have come over him. It did not sound like the voice of the old Sam Ganji that he thought he knew, but it looked like the old Sam Ganji sitting there, except that his face was unusually thoughtful. Okay, so that was page 3 of the beginning of page 3 of chapter 4, and that's all we've got time for at this moment. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.